Happy Sunday!
Young blood made of gold, a mind you can't control. Running wild, can't come down, my head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now, do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime, no we ain't stopping for the sunrise, no we don't care about the bad nights. Before a second I can feel like this, make me feel like this.
Thank you, Cuckoo City, for 2 months. Get it started off with a thumbs up button as you roll one in. It's Sunday, first day of September.
We got a party for a lifetime, no we ain't stopping for the sunrise, no we don't care about the bad nights. Before a second I can feel like this, make me feel like this. I'm on my last straw, I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeling your lies, I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me, 'cause I'd start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side. I'm gone, so don't run from the truth. You're lost, now I know you played me just like a flute. I still can't believe you had me on a leash, cutting all my teeth with all the lies you bring. 'Cause let's start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. 'Cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Could have chosen to be anywhere in the world, anywhere on YouTube, and you chose to be here. So thank you so much for that. Today is September 1st, 2024, 5:43 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. It's so good to see you all. Please hit that thumbs up button as you are coming in. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Um, got a lot to go over today. I know that there is, I hear that there's a lot going on. I was in Marissa's room earlier. I talked to Marissa a little bit, and I got some text and stuff saying that a bunch of things. First of all, before we get started, there's only really a few rules that I have in my chat. One is please do not name any creator in a negative way. Even if we disagree with them, please don't name them in a negative way. Second of all, you can say something positive or maybe neutral. And it's okay if we disagree. No one's here for an echo chamber. However, please put your comment respectfully. And that's all I ask. That's it. Our mods are amazing. Um, I do want to go over a few things. Someone has, uh, I'm reading something, so bear with me, that Seth had his pews um, taken away from him. And again, I don't know, what was said about that, but I can unequivocally tell you that that is not the case. Unequivocally tell you that is not the case. Um, so there's that. Um, what would even be the logic behind that? I don't know. I don't know, but that is unequivocally uh not the truth. And if we are going to do anything in helping out this case, we got to be there to, to say the truth in what is right, what is not, and what is truth. Okay, okay, so I guess JLR was referring back in California. Okay. I don't know, I don't have any time to watch anybody, to be honest with you. They just said someone said that he got his pews taken away. Um the misinformation is running rampant today. A couple other things that I wanted to go over. Um is that, bear with me, y'all. That Seth was somehow in the garage the night that he was missing, that he was working the garage. That is also not true. Not true. He was inside unequivocally the night that Sebastian went missing. Um, and the main thing is, if someone says, that there is something like this, I mean, I don't know. He could have had his pews taken away for whatever reason in, someone said, California. I don't know about that. I haven't looked at that. What happened to him and uh, that long ago? You could say that it could set a pattern. You could say that, to be fair. Um, but there hasn't been any other pattern of that. So I guess you couldn't say that, now that I think about that. Um, I've only heard the garage part on one channel. Please do not use it. If there is anybody using creators' names in chat, please delete it. Please delete it. I don't want to be naming any creators. I'm not here to point fingers at anybody who said this or who said that. People just come to me and they're like, is this true? Is this true? And when I can find out something, I'm going to tell you. Um, and if someone is saying that, for instance, that is also true. Yes, you must have a background check to be a guard or an officer with the sheriff's department. You can't have a criminal background at all. At all. Um, that would be concerning to the courts. Um, went to sleep in his drawer. That is 1000% false. Seth never went to sleep. People are saying that. My God. He never went to sleep for 3 hours. Earlier, I was in a chat and someone said that Seth himself said he went to sleep in a garage for 3 hours. And I asked him, please show me where. Please show me where. It wasn't there. It wasn't there. Because I know Seth was at work for a full 12 hours shift. Um, and again, I don't care how you feel about Seth. That's not my concern. Whether you like Seth, whether you like Chris or Katie, whether you like the man in the moon, that's not what I am here for. But we should be here for truth. We should be here for truth. Uh, that they are starting this. Well, is it possible people are afraid law enforcement is getting close, that they're starting this attack rumor? I don't know. I don't know. Must be a full moon. I don't know, is it? Um, Sebastian is the purpose. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Um, do you remember when the boss came on and said he was at work, even set the time he was there? Actually, I don't, reality. I don't. But um, there's been so much that has happened in the last um, 6 months that it's just information overload. And, you know, this man, I mean, Chris and Katie has stated that that Seth didn't do anything. Again, I don't care if you like him or not. I mean, I don't like everything about Seth. You guys know that. But just because I don't like everything about him doesn't mean the man did anything to his child. Um, the like I always say, like that's like the best alibi you can have is being in a jail, right? Being in a jail. Um, at the place that we don't get any clear answer other than he was. I am trying to catch up. Seth did mention the pew pew, but it was back in California when she called the police on him. Oh, now I remember that. Yep. Now I remember that. Yep. I do remember that now. Now that you say it like that, sure. Uh People are trying to say there is no car in the lights video, and they're trying to say that there's no car. I don't know again who, but I can assure you that there is and was a car. Your eyes are not lying to you. Your eyes are not lying to you. And the thing is, um, when someone is making, you know, accusations about something, they are the ones with the burden of proof. or it is automatically considered a negative, right? Didn't happen. So there's that. There's that. Um, Chris says he was at work. There we go. Um, the main person, in my opinion, is that we need to look at is Katie. Katie is the one that was with her child. And as I made a point last night, let's Justin, the ruckus video, it looks like three people. The ruckus video is nothing but ruckus. It's nothing but ruckus. It is about a 2-second clip, maybe, that is slowed down, and your brain is trying to make it make sense. It's like the man on the moon, Jesus in the toast. There is nothing, in my opinion, to the ruckus video. I think it is ruckus. That's all I can say about that. If you think someone, three people are outside fighting in a very quiet neighborhood, like, and someone didn't see or hear that, because that would be pretty loud. Then everyone has the right to believe what they uh think is, but I personally don't believe that. I think we should always try to be on the right side of history whenever we know in our hearts uh what is right. People are trying to make something out of nothing with the video. Now, there is human activity out there. Justin isn't spreading false info. Rachel, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. I apologize. Um, so this case is rare as a unicorn. Each of the three parents have contradicted themselves over and over. Yeah. Yeah. I think Seth has contradicted himself. But it doesn't have to do with the night Sebastian goes missing, right? I'm not, Sandra. I'll just tell you that. On this, um, Justin, that video is debunked is saying that house was filmed in on the left, not from the corner. If it is the driveway, it is impossible for the corner. Samantha, I don't know what you mean. Like the ruckus video? Is that what you mean? Um, look at history. Look at history. Look at other missing cases. Look at the experts. Look at the experts. What do they all say? What do they all say? Hey, John, good to see you. What do the experts say? And that is something is wrong here. Something is wrong. I made a point last night. Let's say, for instance, that KK was the babysitter. Look closest first. That's exactly right. And I'll be honest with you, I think that authorities messed up the first few days. I think we would probably be a lot further along than the first few days. Um, what? One second. They took, you know, the parents' word as an outstanding citizen right away. They took it for face value. They took it for face value. The outstanding citizen, right? You live in a nice home, you live in a nice neighborhood, and he's an autistic child. He A lot of autistic children walk out. They do. They do. But this child was left alone at Seth's and of the evening before KK got home, right? If they thought that if either parent thought for any second that Sebastian would ever run off or walk off, then why the hell would they leave him alone, both of them, for hours? That's right, hindsight. It's not a personality contest. It's not. If Sebastian wanted to get run away, he would have certainly, I'm sure, have done it sooner. Um, or he would have done this um, while he was there alone. The deception detective said Seth is honest, even with his t shirt showing a photo of Sebastian. This was not the case of the two parents. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Deception detective's amazing. He's one of maybe about 3 or 4 on YouTube that is not afraid to say his opinion. Cuckoo Guchu, thank you so much for because I don't understand why people are still trying to say Seth took Sebastian or even a strange abduction when you can clearly see a light running back to the house. There was only one person in that house besides Sebastian. Let's give that an applause. People will say, oh, Seth was sleeping in his van for 3 hours that night. And then you have a car with individuals running right behind their house, and one goes back and stays. Think about it, people. I mean, do I understand, people don't like Seth. I don't care about that. But truth, what we know, is important. It's important. And you should never bend your, you know, for anybody what you know is the truth. Doesn't make any sense to me that she ran. Yeah, I ran up, drove back to the house. You move. Or, well, why didn't he move to Hendersonville then? Uh, well, oops, sorry. Uh, Seth did move to Tennessee, for his son. Uh, is still in that house. Thank you so much, Broke Stacker. Thank you. Now, yes, they did say that they were deceptive as well. So I don't think so, to be quite honest with you. I don't think uh Sebastian is in that house. I don't think he is in any house, to be quite honest with you, in my opinion. I believe something really bad happened to Sebastian on the night or the early morning hours, the night of the 25th, February 25th, or the early morning hours of February 26th. I personally believe whatever happened to Sebastian happened before midnight on the 25th. In fact, I would say even a couple to a few or more hours before midnight. Um, it is, I mean, has there been, uh, yeah, I'll see if I can get, I'll see if they'll release that video to me. See if I can do a FOIA on it, because it would just be nice to see Seth there in the jail uh, for a good, you know, 12 hours doing his job. That would be really good. This is also the man that took a lie detector test on national television. This is not the person that said at day 7, clear or passed, rather, passed, didn't say who passed, and that they have been clear since their first interview. Now, Seth will say that yes, he's still technically a suspect. Um, unlike the others who says they were clear first interview. Now, come on. Come on now. That is right, Vivian. We don't know if they're teeth marks. We don't know if those are teeth marks. Absolutely not. We have no idea. We have no idea. Uh, didn't call 911, didn't call Seth's work. Um, A&H, good to see you. How did Katie pass? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Now, they have said that they have passed. That is what they have said. The only human being that we know unequivocally who has taken a polygraph and passed, and this was from an FBI polygrapher. Nancy doesn't, she knows the people who took it and passed is Seth. That's it. Do we have receipts that the Foots passed? No, we don't. There is nothing from a polygrapher. There is nothing from police. There is, and that is a fact. It is a fact that they have said that they have passed. It is not a fact that law enforcement has said they took a lie detector test and passed. If I am wrong, let me know in the chat. Um, no, they're not. They're not 100%. They're not 100%. But the thing is, why not just take it? Why not just take it? Name the time and place. Nancy named the time and place. You didn't take it. I think Sebastian is, in my opinion, hidden very, very well. Right? This is going to be something studied for years. That's what he seemed and said very confidently. Right? I grew up and I never heard of the county having a polygraph tester and one ever being used here. Now, the local law enforcement usually doesn't do, like, a lot of local law enforcement doesn't do polygraphs. However, to be fair, the TBI does do polygraphs. They do polygraphs. Hopefully KP. Well, can I give CP the Linda special lie detector test? What's the Linda special lie detector test? What's that? Yes, it does rely on your body's response. Um, and there is okay, let's think of motive, right? Let's think of motive. Who would have more of a motive to do something, right? Um, but then we have to go to means and opportunity, right? Now, means, right? Who would have, the means in order to carry something out. I don't think this was done by one single person, right? Exactly, DJ. That too, but um it's just ridiculous, right? Um I don't think CP uh could tell the truth about anything. Well, and then we have motive, means, and then opportunity. Who, if he didn't walk out of the house? Okay, so let's pretend Sebastian was there with the babysitter for um speaking hypothetically. Let's pretend that Sebastian was with a babysitter. Well, thank you, Trina. So the babysitter was talking to her boyfriend. She was studying for her upcoming test, and she was also sleeping on the couch, right? He was in his bedroom. And sure thud, and she said, "Did you fall out of bed?" And he said, "No, ma'am." All right. Don't care what you're doing, but just go to bed, which doesn't make sense. But anyway, the babysitter goes to bed. She wakes up the next morning to get him ready for school, and he's not there. You call non 911, right? Non 911. You call, let's just say you do call 911. Let's just say you do call 911, and you tell them that, you know, you spoke to him through the door last night, or, through the house, yelled through the house, and he's not there. You don't know why he walked out the door. Then they're going to be like, okay, well, did you check on him last night? No, didn't. I was laying on the couch talking to my boyfriend and studying and all that. All right. Well, when could he have left out of that house? It would have had to been after midnight. Well, they get the search dogs, right? And they don't find anything. And they're like, no scent anywhere. Let's have the neighbors check their cameras. Nothing there either, right? And then you talk to the parents and they say, no, he's never done anything like that. Thank you, Terry. He doesn't like to get dirty. He doesn't like to get out in nature or anything like that. What do you think authorities are going to do whenever they don't have a scent, they don't have him on camera, and there is nothing, and I mean nothing, to suggest that he walked out on his own? Right? What was that comment? How did that person get Sebastian? Was he just standing outside waiting, or they broke in without anyone in the house hearing it? Would have been an inside job, in my opinion. And then a few days later, they start looking in a landfill. This is what the FBI pointed out. KP's story changed 3 times. Yeah. They don't look for autistic children who may have walked off on their own accord in a landfill. But you can, people muddy the water and say, well, Seth was sitting in his car, which was not even the case. Uh, it's ridiculous. With 2 dogs barking. Yes. It's a lot of distraction. It's a lot of distraction. And it's just craziness. Now, I think something happened that night. I don't know if that something was pre-planned, or did something go bad really quickly. I don't know. But when Mrs. Foote says that there's a thud, I believe her. I believe she heard something. I certainly do. In my opinion, with forensics seem to, not be needed with any type of luminol, and the thud, and you they obviously didn't see any biological anything in the house, and her doing this in the interviews and the behavior and the not looking, not doing what every, in my opinion, innocent parent that I have ever seen. uh I think something happened from here up. I don't know. KP and law enforcement wore the funny glasses inside the home. Me Lumen always used inside. It's just my opinion. KP and law enforcement wore the funny glasses. Um, where did you see that, Bushi? I may have missed it. Um, but I believe something happened. I don't know if he fell. I don't know if someone did something to him. That's true, Tiffany. That's true. But and I'm not saying this happened. I'm not saying this happened. I want to make that very clear. But if you have something what they call a closed head injury, a closed head injury, it is something where um it is a very slow and before something happens to you, a lot of times people freak out, they don't get help, there's no blood at all. It is a slow death. Um, I I'm going to look for it. Thank you, Boo. I'd like to see that for sure. Um, I don't think, I know some people do, but I don't think he's alive. I don't. I pray to God that I am wrong. Also, um, a lot of people have stated that Mr. Foot was down south in, where did they say, uh Louisiana? I think it was Louisiana. Um I don't think that is true either. One second. Okay, sorry about that. Um, I had a close head brain injury and I was thought I was okay. Wrong within hours. I could barely speak. Off. Yes. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, it's something that is very slow until it's not. I looked for your email, but I can't I don't see it. I even looked in my junk. At my let me give you my email here. In Louisiana check extradition, there are none to extra. I don't know. But what I do hope is something is done soon, and I pray that he is found alive. I pray, number one, but there has to be some sort of someone helping, at the very minimum, in my opinion, of someone helping this child get out. And one of those people went back to the house and appears to have never came back out. I want to show you something that is very, very interesting. I think I showed this in the beginning. This is a brilliant person, and they do a lot of data and things based upon deduction and uh, scientific stats. And this is from franklydeduction.wordpress.com. I'm going to share this in the chat. I will link it in my description for replay. Okay. And there is 3 parts to this. And what's the saying goes, when you have eliminated everything, no matter how improbable. Someone remember that one right there? There we go. So I want to show you this because this is really, really interesting. And we're going to get to some things here. It's kind of sus that they left the house after 2 weeks. What if Sebastian had come back? Well, to me, it was really okay. Thank you, my dear. I don't think he could have any idea of anything is missing in their house. All right. So, on Monday, February 26th, Katie Proudfoot tries to wake her son, Sebastian, but the son was nowhere to be found. She searched his room, the backyard, and even a few blocks from the house, but nowhere could the 15-year-old autistic boy be found, and there was no visible signs that he had run away, and that all left were his shoes, and he reportedly took a small flashlight with him when he disappeared. Just by reading the first paragraph, a few things come to mind. Reading about Sebastian, his case is directly made a link with a 13-year-old Florida girl named Madeline Soto, who also went missing on the exact date Sebastian was missing. But even though Madeline was found several miles away and her cause of death was an act of DV by presumably her stepfather, Stephen Stearns. There are several factors that we can add besides only the date. there are similarities. Parents who are divorced, mothers who have new boyfriend or husband, both appeared on TV for an interview. Now, these similarities do not necessarily mean anything, but there seems to be a pattern between missing or runaway children that tend to have the same family issues. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office has released little about Sebastian's case, but confirmed that there are no active sightings of Sebastian. Now let's get some data in order to get a more nuisance, sorry, nuance look about this case. Um, okay, so by knowing the data, how likely it is that a 15-year-old walked a large distance. Hell, if I walk half a day with slippers on, the blisters are uncanny. So when the search first started, my bet would have been about a mile and a half to 2 miles due to the circumstances that Sebastian was barefoot. 2 miles would be considered a long ways in that temperature and barefoot. Now, I am not sure if this was a rumor or actual fact, but if Sebastian is indeed autistic, it would be interesting to know what kind uh, of autism that he suffers with. All right. Now, the reason why I'm interested in to make an approximation based on available data, thus meaning knowing what kind of autism Sebastian had on the spectrum could help us make a prediction on where Sebastian would have gone because, you know, they seem to be uh, interested in different things based upon maybe what kind of autism they have. I work with clients who have autism and had runaway protocols, and they would go to farther places. But also, they, excuse me, was residing in the middle of a suburban neighborhood, and residents rather would call us all the time when they saw our clients walk outside the facility. But since there is no indication or sightings of Sebastian in the remote area he lived in, then how likely is it that Sebastian left on foot? Do we truly believe that the available data of the weather, the radius that he walked so far barefooted in the middle of the night without a runaway bag? Um, I therefore cannot help it speculate that foul play might be involved and have a gut feeling this might be a possible abduction. What kind of abduction? That's to be, you know, seen. This was done, I think, in like March or April. Hopefully, this case will come to resolution. Sebastian is alive and well. But as to hear little or no updates with the search party shrinking instead of expanding, the search efforts also indicate Sebastian could have not gone far. Now, we're going to do some triangulations here, which is very, very interesting. Who did the first interview with the parents? I can't remember. Duchess did that, my dear. Okay. We're going to do some triangulations here, and this is going to be very interesting in momentarily. All right, officers have been thorough in the neighborhood video canvas, but none of them had any signs of Sebastian. They also looked for prints on the construction site on the right, but there were not able to find any. So the question is still, where did Sebastian go? The obvious conclusion is that he did not take the main roads where cameras are located, but avoiding all of them in a fancy neighborhood like this seems highly unlikely. However, that gives us new data for at least knowing what roads he did not take that we can use as a process of elimination for possible and other search perimeters. But once again, why is the search not expanding? There must be a reason. If there is no indication uh, to expand, if a car was involved, it would surely have been caught during the timeline Sebastian went missing. Then, the house near was searched uh, for at least several times. But if Sebastian was not caught on any cameras near his home and alleged footage of two light sources in the back are the only signs, would the implication not be simple? So, no cameras, no visible sites of abduction. Then he must have gone up or down or simply never left. Now, there is a blog post too, and this is where it gets really interesting. This is where we're going to do the triangulations. All right. Thank you so much, Holly. Really do appreciate you. Um, there's not a lot of reading here, but I'm going to read this and then we're going to do something very interesting. Very interesting. I'll drop the link again. It's Frank's deduction. Okay. Process of elimination and video canvassing. So what I did is list all possible cameras that are located near Sebastian, his house. For example, 1001 Stafford Court has a camera. And here's the camera, and we are doing a triangulation. And we continue using these kinds of examples until we can make a triangulation, the presumptions that the cameras work. All right. So let me just, so I have showed you a list. I have showed you a list of every camera in that neighborhood, video camera and or doorbell. And they all have a triangulation. They all see a certain vicinity, right? All of them. And they cover quite a bit of a vicinity. So look at this. Look at this. We know the examples that the light has been spotted behind Sebastian's home. Now, I'm not 100% sure of this from 1013 Kellen Lane, but I was able to find a camera that hints to this based on the three trash cans. This is the one on the corner. Now, this is interesting right here. If this indeed the camera that captures the shot, then the angle would look approximately something like this. Um, we forget about this house, right? We forget about this house, not the one uh, on the corner that we always see, not the one with the gazebo, but the one beside of it. Remember, they allegedly came down and spotted or and stopped at the car here. But we forget about this one. And if we triangulate, and I think this house is very, very important, y'all. Very important. And if you ask me, this one has a lot more stuff on it. This home right here. They won't say. Um but let's look at this. So they have a couple cameras. They have one at the door, one at the side, and maybe even more. But let's triangulate this. So this would be an angle where the flashlight would have been sighted uh, in the original. This would be this is the area that the flashlights would have been seen, eliminating the probability of a widespread garbage truck rumor. We already have several cameras pointing in crucial angles in order to map the probable route that Sebastian could have taken. So if the camera at 1001 Stafford Court did not capture him, we can already eliminate the possibility that he took the main road on Kellen Lane, leaving the possibility open, of course, if that he sorry we can already eliminate the possibility that he took the main road on Kellen Lane, leaving the probability open, of course, that he could have avoided cameras by going into people's backyards that had no cameras. How would he know? It's nighttime, right? However, the likelihood of this is slim to none, but not out of the realm of possibilities. The next one is to create a triangulation is just up the road from Sebastian's house near the cul-de-sac at 1017 Stafford Court. Right here. Cameras. Right? Cameras. Okay. Now, if we are here near this is near the cul-de-sac, we got another triangulation. Another triangulation. We've got triangulations of Stafford. We've got triangulations at Kellen. Now, if this camera didn't pick up Sebastian's barefoot, assuming once again that these devices were on, then how is it possible that he was not spotted? You're going to be blown away about this in just a second. Some of these devices were pretty decent at night vision. They're very decent at night vision, by the way. Not only the cameras, but also lamps and lights that are activated by movement. If we were to make a triangulation between these cameras, it would look like this. I wish I could, let me see if I could enlarge this. Yes, here we go. Let me show you this. Right? It's going to look like this. So you tell me, how is that there is no active sighting? Tell me. Right? It should say a lot. In my opinion, they know in a week before the They will give out a press conference to what? Um, I don't know, but I think I believe he was. I believe he did not walk out on second to no one. Yes, there is videos 100%, 100% that we have not seen. 100%. Um, and there is definitely 100% another video that we have not seen, that we have not seen at all. It's crazy. All right, now I'm going to show you something else here. It's just I don't get where people can think that Seth did something. That's what I don't get. Hey, Twisted, good to see you, buddy. So he was driven out through the garage. No, no, no. I mean, is that a possibility? Yes, it is a possibility that he could be have been taken out through the garage. Now, let's talk about something. Miss Foot that morning, she left at about 6:03 while she uh was getting in her vehicle, and she said, the neighborhood searching the neighborhood. She said she looked in her neighborhood. I would love to know how fast she was going. I think that would be very interesting to know if she was going fast up the streets. Was she going slow? Like she was looking for something? Did she leave the garage door open while she left, hoping that Sebastian might come back? And why did it take so long for her to be gone? There is two streets in your neighborhood, right? Two streets in your neighborhood. And then you go allegedly to the school. The neighbors have said they saw Sebastian. They haven't. Yeah, he wasn't. I don't even think some of them knew that he was like out, like that even lived there. To be honest with you, why did it take so long? Was she caught on any cameras in daylight? Yes, she was. She is caught leaving. You can see her leaving and then later coming back. And that's the neighbor said she didn't search the neighborhood, then that she drove straight out. Then that's going to set off, if that is true, Tennessee homegirl, that is going to be very interesting. Yes, driving slow would be searching, right? Looking. Is your head out the window, right? Are you screaming, Sebastian? Lottie, it means a weapon, right? Yes, Kimberly, I do too. Military bags, when filled with gear for deployment, weighs over 120 pounds. They carry alone. Yes. There were hourly shows just bashing him. Well, it won't happen here because, you know, again, it's not how you feel about Seth. It's about he's the only one that has done anything to be productive in order to finding his child. And that's that. Um, look at this. There is something about that morning. Something about that morning. About, hold on, I'm looking for something. About whenever she took off. Now, it was 6:03. Police didn't get there till after 7 a.m. That's almost an hour. Why gone for that if you are, searching for, you're searching for your kid, you need to get help there and help quick. Something makes them uncomfortable that morning. 1 second. I don't know what's wrong with, we're having storms here.
Bringing you home. Like, where the F is. I picked up the phone and I called my husband and I the doors and windows. After I looked, the F is that. About midnight, I got up. Snacks because he's 15 and snacks.
Snacks.
We went to the bowling alley, and then from there we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock.
Notice this. Notice this. Notice that there is no time that a time is mentioned at all until 9 o'clock. The entire day, the entire weekend.
Told him to go to bed. And he's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. I love you." And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise, and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep."
Mohawk, we're going to get to that. Yes, because something is up with that too, in my opinion. 6:30 in the morning, she's been looking for Sebastian. How could she be there at 6:30 and the cops didn't even arrive till a little after 7 in the morning? And why did the Mrs. Bowerfoot, why did she say she didn't get there till 10 or 10:30? What is going on here? What is going on? She's there at 6:30, but you're there at 10 or 10:30? And we've got the text for both of them. Oh my God. We got a late one. I have no idea where my late slip is. Let's see here. Cat B to the office, please. You're being paged. Cat B to the office, please. You're being paged. We need a late slip for Cat B. CB. Why? Why? I mean, I would think if, and then she says, I'm afraid, and this was the next morning. The next morning at like 5:33, I'm sorry. At 5:33 in the morning, she says, I'm afraid Sebastian may have got in someone's car for them to go on the way to work. And then Sebastian was asleep in the back. And when they got to work, he woke up and left the car and now can't be found. ... It happens, Justin. I thought in the interview, Ukraine on top and keep Crane equals Chris. It's very odd. It's very odd. Especially, them saying, oh, he took a flashlight and we see flashlights. Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. And then the next day, the sister's like, I'm afraid he got in a car. Okay, well, there's, flashlights and a car in the neighborhood. Was someone going to work?
And about midnight, I got up and I went to bed. And 6.
Notice the times. Notice the times. There's no times about what time they woke up, went to breakfast, went and done this, went and done that, went and had dinner. No time is mentioned until they have to use some times to lock it in my opinion.
6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he went in here.
What was going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling?
To censor myself. Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid?
To censor myself. Holy freaking crap. Where is my kid? Holy freaking crap. Lottie, I told you they are GUNS. You don't give a wooden nickel about censoring yourself or anything like that whenever your kid is missing. You want to find your kid. And getting, I don't know, CB. Don't know. If the lights were no big deal, where was that? Where was that comment? If the lights were no big deal, why is she stiffing up like a statue? Yeah.
Choice words were used.
Choice.
Like, where the F is he? I had looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that. And he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch.
Very good point, Lisa. If this was KP hiding Sebastian from CP or Seth, Sebastian would be missing with shoes, coat, phone, etc. That theory makes no sense. Exactly.
And then he comes out after I come back, and he likes to scare me. But
Look how she changed her face so quick. And then he likes to scare and then he likes to scare me.
scare me. But and and then he comes out after I come back, and he likes to scare me. But after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this
Nope.
took place in like 1 minute flat. But I didn't see him in.
All of that in 1 minute flat. All of that in 1 minute flat. 1 minute flat. That's quicker than Dawn and
Room. I
Candace.
looked all
Or
over. I ran through the whole
Candace.
house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school, and he's already like.
Starting that thing with her neck. And I drove over and he's all ready.
At this point, I was like hysterical, and I was crying, I was screaming, and
Got a cough. One dry cough. One dry cough. And the anxiety is going to go through the roof. Because she said something, in my opinion, she wasn't supposed to say. Redirecting. Yes, Holly, yes. But they like to say that Seth was sleeping on the job, and he wasn't. But look over all this.
and he was like,
Right after that cough, her voice goes down. Right? Her voice goes down, and you can see the wheels spinning. Come on, KK. Get it right, girl. Get it right. Time to get it right. Watch this.
and
Right there.
he was like, um,
She said he was like again. Who is this he? Who is this he? Who is this he? Who is this he was like? Now, you know when like you're doing a math problem and you don't have any like paper, right? Or you're doing something so you can remember, so you do it right with your finger. After that, you can hear 3 knocks. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. Ooh. Twice on the pipes if the answer is no. I know, keep my day job.
three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement.
Chris is like, oh shit. Shit, 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 shit. That's exactly what he's doing. Look at that. He is looking out into the abyss. His eyes are like, Lord. She is not speaking from here on out. She's not speaking from here on out.
And And he was like, three-wayed. He three-wayed.
She even repeats it twice. Three-way. He three-way.
Law enforcement. And was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on. And he was like, go back to the house. They're on their way. And I
Go back to the house. They're on their way. You're on three-way. You don't need him to say that.
ran back. Well, drove back.
Ran back to the house, and we see someone running back. We see someone running back. Please zoom in on Katie and see if she does not have a black. I don't think she's got a black eye. I don't think it'll let me zoom. It won't let me zoom like that. It won't. I don't think she's got a black eye there. Singing your all-time favorite.
Back to the house. And 20 days later, we haven't found him.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how stressful that is. And also, like when we were driving up here, like this neighborhood is so pretty and nice. And do you think, has he ever like walked away before, or like has that ever happened? It's just no, first time.
He's not a child that wanders. He's not one that is like,
He doesn't have a history of being an eloper, which is common. And I have friends with children on the spectrum who do struggle with elopement with their children. But no, Sebastian, that's one thing. It's always been a blessing. He's not been an eloper or a runner. His primary areas are like social and emotional dysregulation issues and things like that. But he's very smart. He's functional. Overall, he's a pretty happy kid. I mean, he's a teenager. He's coming into his hormones. He's angry that he's growing a mustache, but for the most part, he's a happy kid. And
what are your theories? Like, I'm sure your mind has thought of every possible thing that could have happened, but is there any theory that you can talk about that you think?
What I can tell you is with all law enforcement, with everybody that's involved, there's nothing that's been eliminated. Everything is on the table. Everything is being looked at from every possible aspect.
Everything from he got out and walked away and was outside of the search radius before we started searching to
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you have a third bedroom that I believe you keep for your other daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ground level.
We have
glass door, anything at all.
find anything missing.
I want to circle back to Sebastian's shoes regarding if anything was missing. Do you have a burglar alarm?
Sorry, I was muted.
No, ma'am.
Do you have a Ring doorbell cam?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have the two of you taken a polygraph?
I have.
I have not.
Would you be willing to?
I've offered and volunteered on many occasions to take a polygraph, and I was told directly by law enforcement because of my whereabouts, I did not need one.
I understand. Ms. Proudfoot, did you pass your polygraph?
I did.
Those questions out of the way. Was Faith in the home when Sebastian went missing?
No.
No, ma'am.
Does anyone else have a key to your home beside your immediate family?
No.
No, ma'am.
Now, why the deception? Why the semantics in the very beginning? Why the semantics on who took a polygraph? And if you were cleared like you said you were in the beginning, why the semantics? And Elizabeth, she says she passed a polygraph. The only factual person that we know that has factually taken a polygraph and passed is Seth. That is a fact. That's not wishful thinking. That is not semantics. That is a fact. Now, the feet say that they have taken a polygraph and passed, but no one has confirmed that. No law enforcement at all has confirmed that. Yes, why the semantics? You don't need semantics, in my opinion, if you're telling the truth from the get-go.
That night, Miss Proudfoot, at midnight when you went to bed, what did you do until midnight?
I had been reading a chapter that I needed to, and I had been talking to my husband on the phone. I was falling asleep on him, so that's when he told me it was around midnight. He told me to go ahead and put the dogs up and go to bed, and that's what I did. I got up, put the dogs where they sleep, and then I myself went to bed.
Where do they sleep?
They have a big pen.
Except they both say in different interviews that when Mr. Foot is out of the home, the dogs sleep with her. Survey says that happened.
A pen, is it inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside. That reminds me of another question. Do you guys have a motion sensor light or lights on the outside of your house?
Yes, we do have lights on the outside of our house.
Did they activate that night?
They're not motion censored. We have lights.
Were they
but not
on that
motion.
night?
Baby, Son Forever, she did, Jennifer Coffindaffer rather. She did a wonderful live on this. Former FBI of nearly 3 decades. This is not her first rodeo. What do all of these retired law enforcement officers say? What do they all say? Something's not, something's off.
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Were they on that night? So the lights were out the whole night?
Yes, ma'am. We don't typically turn the floodlights on.
Were there any lights outside the house on at all?
Just my little solar lights that we have in the garden.
There's
Yep.
2 lights on the side of the house above the garage that are on at all times.
Oh, yeah, those are on.
Oh, there's a light above the garage. It's on at all times.
Interesting. Oh yeah, those were on. those were on. I forgot about those. They're just on 24/7. Oh yeah, those are on.
There's two. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so those lights were on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I heard you say earlier, Mr. Proudfoot, that your neighbors have been very, very forthcoming with their Ring camera info. And I was
Yes,
trying to determine if it
With no bulbs, right, Teresa? Right? Let's just take out the bulbs. We just changed them that night too.
any lights were on, what, if anything, they may have caught. But I understand from your previous interviews that nothing of any evidentiary value was caught. And also, in another statement you gave, I understand that the video of the two flashlights, and I'm saying that with air quotes, that's not exactly what that was at all. We now don't believe that two flashlights were observed around your home. Is that correct?
you're
Yes.
very correct.
Very correct on that one. He wants Nene to know that she is very correct on that. Except that's an error. That is not true. Those lights, in my opinion, and that car is very, very valuable. But Mr. Foot says, you are very correct. You are very, very correct, ma'am. You're very correct. You're very, very correct.
Okay. Question regarding your vehicles. Ms. Proudfoot, what make and model do you drive?
I drive
Here's the best part up here
a
when Chris talks
Infinity SUV.
Year?
2017.
And sir, what do you drive?
I drive a diesel truck, Chevrolet.
Diesel truck Chevrolet.
Year?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's a 2021, I think.
So your Infinity SUV was parked in the garage or outside the garage that night, Ms. Proudfoot?
In the garage.
In the garage. And Mr. Proudfoot, your vehicle was on location in Memphis. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So there's only one car at the home. Is that right?
There was actually a work vehicle in the driveway at the time as well, but it hasn't moved. We can't give out that information because we don't have permission from her work.
I don't understand that. What?
About the make and model of the vehicle.
I have a work van that was also parked in the driveway.
Why is that? If it's out in the driveway where people can see it, why is that privileged information?
We just don't have permission from her company to divulge that information.
Have you asked?
No, ma'am, we have not. Nobody's asked us
So
that
that
question.
was-
to be honest with you.
Okay. So you have a work van. Question to you, Ms.
HIPAA.
Proudfoot, what do you do for a living?
I am an installation technician.
I wish Nancy would have asked, what do you install, Mrs. Foot? What do you install? Survey says home security. Survey says cameras. Survey says you don't have any security systems in your home or any cameras. Survey says you have a camera on your camper. On your camper. Your trailer van. Ugh.
That night, was the work van blocking your driveway? Could someone go in and out of your driveway?
The van is parked at the back of my driveway, so someone.
Was it moved? Jilly, thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate that. Cough, cough. Then stop to recollect what she says. Survey says Jilly is right on the money. Yes, exactly, Jilly. Exactly.
One can pull in, yes.
Got it. Do you park your Infinity SUV in the garage or outside the garage?
In the garage.
In the garage. Do you have an automatic garage door?
With
the clicker.
Right. Do you leave that up or down at night?
Down.
Could anybody lift it up? Like, is there an on and off button outside, or do you have to?
I would like to know, did she close it whenever she left to go search for Sebastian when she was gone for at least 40 minutes?
To know a code or have the clicker to open it?
Which is a long time, considering allegedly she did not search the entire neighborhood and that she went a quarter of a mile down the road to his school. So
You'd have to know the code or have the clicker.
Does Sebastian know the code?
Not to the garage door, but to the man doors.
Not to the garage door, but to the house doors?
The regular door, yes.
So is there a code to get in your home, or do you use a regular key?
There's a code.
And he knows that code?
Yes, ma'am.
Question. I'm just trying to figure out how he would have gotten out, or if somebody came into the home. Could they have gotten through the garage door? No, unless they know the code or had the clicker, which they did not. Do you lock your doors at night?
Yes, ma'am.
Could he have left on his own through those doors?
He could, yes, ma'am.
But I heard in another interview where Mr. Proudfoot said he was not a, quote, wanderer. He didn't wander around. He had never left the home before on his own. Is that right?
Correct. We haven't had issues with him running or taking off in the past.
Stop it. Get some
Okay,
help.
let me ask you a couple of questions regarding the doors. Do you have any home surveillance, anything at all that would have given us an idea or a clue if the door had been opened or not, or a window?
Like, you would think she installed stuff for a living. Like, she installed, I don't know, security cameras, and you would think, but maybe she's just an installation tech. Maybe she installs, I don't know. I can't say what I was going to say.
Not directly from our house.
I can't say what I was going to say.
Well, then from where?
That's what we were.
Anthony, the neighbor got mixed up. It wasn't Sebastian. He actually got the kids confused because I don't think he ever even seen Sebastian. Sebastian and Katie and Chris and Seth cleared that up, that he never went under any car whatsoever.
Hoping that neighborhood ring cameras and may have picked something up.
Gotcha. I want to go back to that night. You said you were up till midnight. You were reading something. What were you reading?
A chapter for school.
A chapter for school. Are you in school?
I was, yes, ma'am. I've since dropped my classes for the time.
What are you studying?
Business administration.
Gotcha. Where do you go to school?
DeVry.
So that night you go to bed at midnight after you've been talking to Mr. Proudfoot on the phone. You put the dogs away in a cage, a crate inside the home, and you go to bed. Did you check on Sebastian at that time?
I did not.
Okay. Do you normally?
Not typically. Since he's gotten older, I've not been checking on him as frequently throughout the night because normally he's good to go in his room once he goes to bed.
Watch Nancy close her eyes
Early-
there. I just
He's,
noticed that. Watch her.
I've not been checking on him as frequently throughout the night because normally he's good to go in his room once he goes to bed.
Earlier you had stated you heard a noise in his room before you went to bed. What time was that?
Around 10 o'clock.
Oh my God, Truth Sleuth. I want to talk to y'all about something. Let me read Truth Sleuths real quick. I want to tell y'all something. Thank you so much, Truth Sleuth. You are incredibly generous to me. Thank you so much, my friend. Justin, why would the PF not give Sebastian the code to the garage door? He is a 15-year-old. That is very bizarre, don't you think? In my opinion, I cannot think of any good reason that the PFs to deny Sebastian a code at all. I agree. Why? Why not give him the codes to the door? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Thank you for that, my friend. Really do appreciate you. Let's talk about something. So the feet made a comment that we are teaching him to set a watch and take his own medicine. At about 7 o'clock. Take his own medicine at around 7 o'clock. Okay? Let's say he took his medicine at 7 o'clock. Let's say that he did. Do you think he's still going to be awake at 10 o'clock? Yeah, looking beyond DeVry is like an online college you can go to. And that he has no concept of time. Right. But if he had this alarm, this watch that went off at 7 o'clock, and he was to take his own medicine, you're not going to be up 3 hours later. And I'm sure, hope you're funny. I'm about to piss myself over the soundboard. I would think, I mean, he probably would have to go to bed early because, you need a full night's sleep. Otherwise, you're going to be as drowsy as hell if you take it late, right, the next day. So, is he still going to be up just, doing stuff in his room 3 hours later? That's a problem.
10 p.m. What did it sound like?
Just a thud.
A thud. You stated that you said, look, I don't care what you're doing in there. Go to bed. Is that right?
I was on the couch, which is near his room, and I said, Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? And he said, no, ma'am. And I said, well, whatever you're doing in there, knock it off and go to sleep.
What the hell?
So you heard his voice.
Oh my God, no way, yeah.
Knock it off. I don't care what you're doing in there, but knock it off and go to bed. I don't, just a thud. My son takes his meds. He's out within 20 minutes. Yes. Yes. That's a powerful sedative. Sedative.
At 10 p.m.
Good Lord.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea what the sound actually was?
I
Few
do
times.
not know.
If he were to go out his window, what would he step on?
This is very important what she's about to say here. But what was that? Yeah, name of our new band, Just a Thud. Just a thud. A thud is concerning. Thank you, Brenda. That's concerning. Just a thud. He's had seizures. He's special needs. He's under the influence of medication. That's right. That's what he says. We would have heard him. Plus, we would have heard him.
Mulch.
There is no screw ups like this in Seth's interviews. You know why? Because he was at work.
And I do not know.
If he were to go out his window, what would he step on?
Mulch and bushes.
Did you say mulch or mush?
Mulch.
Mulch.
Mulch. Okay. Got it. Has he ever gone out the window before?
No, ma'am.
Is his room on the front of the house or the back of the house?
Front.
Front. Do any of your neighbors' ring cams point toward your house? Could they pick that up?
They do, but it's so dark that they can only see it. After it gets so dark at night, they can only see certain things where there's light.
I thought there were the two lights on
the opposite side of the house.
Okay. Can we talk about Sebastian's shoes? Why are you convinced Sebastian left without shoes on? Or are you?
Well, the reason that came about is because all of his shoes are accounted for inside the house still.
Are you positive?
I'm positive.
How do you know what clothes he was wearing?
The clothes that we described are the ones I saw him in when he went to bed.
Even the very first couple press conferences, they said, we don't even know if this boy has a coat on, and the weather's changing quickly. Right? There's been, even in the FBI alert, it doesn't say that Sebastian has black pants with white stripes down it. And let's go back and listen to that, what she just said.
How do you know what clothes he was wearing?
The clothes that we described are the ones I saw him in when he went to bed.
She was going to say, when I went to bed, or when he went to bed.
That morning, you woke up at 6 o'clock. Is that the normal time you wake up?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a heavy sleeper?
Off and on.
Do you take any medication at night that would make you sleep?
No, ma'am.
But you heard nothing.
I did not know.
So we know he is alive and well at 10 p.m. At 6 a.m. He's gone. You say he's never left before. Is that right?
Correct. He's never run off before.
And could I confirm, where was his bio dad at the time he went missing?
I believe he was at work in Nashville.
Had there been any family argument or altercation prior to him going missing?
No, ma'am.
You know he was there.
And Mr. Proudfoot, when did you leave town?
Early February.
So
Listen to this.
you had
listen to
been
this.
gone for days before he went missing. Is that correct?
Correct,
Weeks.
ma'am.
Had you visited home since you left?
You said from when I initially left?
Yes.
Not a complicated
Yes, ma'am.
question.
I came home.
Not a complicated question. What you mean since I first let what? You mean
On February 20th. You said from when I initially left?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You hear Mrs. Foot in the background?
Stop it. Get some help.
See where Chris gets that call from.
Ma'am, I came home February 26th, the morning I was told that he was missing.
From the time that you left for the job in Memphis to February 26th, did you visit the home?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I was home. I can't give exact dates. Law enforcement has told me not to provide exact dates, but I had been home multiple times prior to February. And then I left early February and then didn't come back till February 26th, the morning he was missing.
So you were not home from the time you left early February till Feb 26. Is that right?
Correct, ma'am.
Where were you living in Memphis?
I have an RV trailer that I stay in at an RV park.
RV park. Okay. Following back up on that morning, you searched the home, Miss Proudfoot.
He
Then
didn't
you-
come home the morning of February 26th. He came home, he says, actually around 1:30 in the evening. No.
You get in your vehicle and you start searching. Did Sebastian know how to drive?
No, ma'am.
Was your car in the same location when you woke up that morning as it was the night before?
Yes, ma'am.
Has your car been searched by police?
Multiple times. Yes, ma'am.
Have scent dogs looked at your car?
Yes, ma'am.
So your car's in the same place. You get in the car, you start looking in the neighborhood for him. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you call Mr. Proudfoot, right?
I believe I was already on the phone with him at that point.
You believe.
Okay. Then,
Hold on.
so your car's in the same place. You get in the car, you start looking in the neighborhood for him. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you call Mr. Proudfoot, right?
I believe I was already on the phone with him at that point.
She believes she's on. PR, thank you so much. I've always thought she was about to say that's what he was wearing when I saw him last. Oh, interesting. Thank you for that, my friend. Really do appreciate it. Felt like a flip was coming. That it does feel like that for sure. For sure. It really does.
Point.
Oh God, what did I do?
Okay. Question: who called 911?
I did.
You did.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
time?
Without looking at a call log, I can't give you the exact time, but on or about 6:20.
And had you guys been talking on the phone before?
Oh my God, True Sleuth. My God, thank you, dear. That is, you are so nice to me. Thank you, my dear. I wonder if the thud is a result of Sebastian having an unexpected seizure, either due to meds or head trauma. In my opinion, with his brain condition, there was a chemical imbalance because of the meds or head trauma. A seizure could be a possibility. I have wondered very similar myself, True Sleuth. He had a lot of seizures prior when he was younger, from what I understand, and he hadn't had any in quite a while. But regardless, that is always going to be in the back of your mind that he could possibly have a seizure. Now, you can have a seizure in your sleep. You are going to check on your kid. You're going to check on your kid. Of course you are, right? And I believe something like that could have occurred for sure. Janine, he has call logs. That is what he claims. He also claims he and his family have Life 360. Put it out. Shut everybody up, right? Justin, what meds was he on? I was wondering about guys, help me out. What meds was what was that? Respiridol? Is that right? Was his seizures free because on seizure medication? That I don't know. I can try to find that out for you, though. I will try to find that out for you. Respiridol, yeah. Yeah. He said first interview. That way there is transparency across the board. Transparency across the board. All the call logs have been verified. Well, you're saying he walked out the door. This was your first interview. We expect nothing but transparency whenever you say something like this. Yes, and there is medicine during the day as well. Yes, to make it crystal clear, transparency across the board. Right? Nancy said to KP a few times, "So you heard nothing?" KP replies, "No, ma'am." What happened to the thud? Very good point, Elisa. Very good point. I wish someone would run the route that KP. Yeah, that route, from her, like going into, the neighborhood, you might be you're going to be driving slower, right? But I think it's like 3/10 of a mile, Kellen, from the corner of Stafford and Kellen. I think it's like 3/10 of a mile. Okay, Truth, I will. I got you. So it's not going to take that long, even if you're driving slow. And the school is, I mean, you can see the school on the other side of where, they're building the houses. So it's right there. That should not take 40 minutes. Yeah, the non-911 call. Yes.
before 6 a.m., or did you initially call Mr. Prophet at the time you realized Sebastian was gone?
Oh, one second.
I called him when I realized Sebastian was gone.
Called once Sebastian was gone. Risperidol. What is Risperidol? It is an antipsychotic medicine that works by changing the effects in the chemicals in the brain. Risperidol is used to treat schizophrenia in adults and children who are at least 13 years old. Risperidol is also used to treat symptoms of bipolar, manic depression, and adults who are at least 10 years old. Risperidol is used to treat symptoms of irritability in autistic children who are 5 to 16 years old. Risperidol is not approved for the use of older adults with dementia related psychosis. Do not give Risperidol to children without a doctor's advice. While you are taking this medicine, you may become more sensitive to temperature extremes, such as very hot or very cold conditions. Um, Avoid getting too cold or becoming overheated or dehydrated. Drink plenty of fluids, especially in hot weather and during exercise. It is easier to become dangerously overheated and dehydrated while taking this medicine. Risperidol may impair your thinking or reaction. Be careful if you drive or do anything that requires you to be alert. Drinking alcohol can increase certain side effects of Risperidol. Stop using Risperidol and call your doctor at once if you have fever, stiff muscles, confusion, sweating, fast or uneven heartbeats, restless muscle movement in your face or neck, tremor, uncontrolling shaking, trouble swallowing, feeling lightheaded, or fainting. Before taking this medicine, you should not use Risperidol if you are allergic to Risperidone. Risperidone may increase the risk of death in older adults with dementia related psychosis and is not approved for this use. To make sure this medicine is safe for you, tell your doctor if you have had heart disease, high blood pressure, heart rhythm problems, stroke, heart attack, diabetes, or risk factors such as obesity or family history of diabetes, white low blood cell counts, liver or kidney disease, seizures, breast cancer, low bone mineral density, trouble swallowing, Parkinson's disease, or if you are dehydrated. Uh, Interesting. Uh, it may temporary affect fertility, able to have children in women. Can pass on to breast milk if you are breastfeeding. Risperidol, talk to your doctor. Uh, if the baby has symptoms such as drowsiness, tremors, or involuntary movements. How should I take Risperidol? Take Risperidol exactly as your doctor has prescribed. Follow all directions and the prescription label and read all medication guides or instruction sheets. Risperidol can be taken with or without food. Let's see here. Do not mix Risperidol with cola or tea. Risperidol M orally tablet can be tablet from the package only when you are ready to take the medicine. Place the tablet in your mouth and allow it to dissolve without chewing. Swallow several times as the tablet dissolves. If you take up to it may take up to several weeks before your symptoms improve. What happens if I overdose? Seek emergency medical attention or call Poison Helpline. OD symptoms may include severe drowsiness, fast heart rate, feeling lightheaded, fainting, and restless muscle movements in your eyes, tongue, jaw, or neck. Avoid getting up too fast or lying on positions, or you may feel dizzy. Dizziness or severe drowsiness can cause falls, fractures, or other injuries. Avoiding drinking alcohol. Dangerous side effects could occur. While taking Respirodol, you may be more sensitive to temperatures such as extreme hot or cold conditions. Avoid getting too cold or becoming overheated or dehydrated. Uncontrolled muscle movements, chewing, lip smacking, frowning, tongue movement, blinking, or eye movement. Wow. Tell your doctor if you're taking other medications, blood pressure medications, clonazepam, Prozac, Paxil, Lindopa. I think that's how you pronounce it. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Thank you for that. He could be on MTAB. That is a very powerful drug. It can induce seizures. Yes. Yes, it can. It can. I also wonder, I believe this was a newer medication for him, if I remember correctly. And this could have, maybe changed his behavior and triggered someone in the home, perhaps. TRH video. TRH video. What's the TRH video? It's okay if caps are on. It's okay. We don't mind it here. I don't know what TRH video is, dear. I'm sorry. You can write it in chat. Maybe I can. Oh, Texas Roadhouse. I'm really bad with abbreviations. So bad at it. Because I think that could be used as potentially, later down the road. I really do, to be quite honest with you.
Have you guys been out looking for Sebastian?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
We were given information that you guys have left the home. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
I'm going back to work.
he said his job was up in the air. Job was up in the air. If your job is up in the air, why would his job be up in the air whenever your kid just went missing? They're not going to fire you if nothing is wrong. Right? Why was your job up in the air? That's what I'd like to know.
You're going back to work. What about you, Miss Prophet?
No, I'm not.
She's being the emotional support wife with, the fifth wheel. That's what she's doing. She went down there for, I guess, support. At the beginning of this interview, he said his job was up in the air. We didn't cover that part. He said his job was up in the air. And then we have here, or sorry, she said I'm going back to work, is the reason they're down there. But his job is up in the air. If your job is up in the air, are you going back to work?
Going back to work.
And you couldn't pry me from my home. Couldn't pry me from my home. Could not pry me from my home. If that was the last place my kid was.
Not
at.
yet, at least.
Did you leave the home also, Miss Proudfoot?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
To accompany my husband going back to work, and then I'm coming back.
Okay, when will you be back? Do you know yet?
No, not yet.
Are you concerned about being away while the search is ongoing?
Absolutely, I am.
Then why are you going?
Because my son could be anywhere, and we're looking everywhere and anywhere.
So it's more likely that he's in another state. Is that what you're saying? You're looking anywhere and everywhere. You're in a different state. Why? That does not make sense. Does not make sense. Why would you be in a different state? You're down there in a, like, literally a camping lot where kids are playing all around. Why? I mean, they said that people were, driving by their house and stuff. I would say, thanks for your interest. You need something answered? How about that?
I've got a question for you.
Yes,
I want
ma'am.
to find out about Mr. Proudfoot hitting Sebastian with a belt. What happened?
Here we go.
That was actually several years ago, and it
To
was
Mr. Proudfoot.
one-
To Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot. Mr. Proudfoot, what happened?
Here we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were asking Katie. Sebastian had gotten in trouble. He got caught lying. And I had asked him, I said, hey, you got to have a punishment for this.
Got caught lying. The one time he got caught lying, you needed to use corporal punishment with a weapon on an autistic child that you throw his stuff out? What is wrong? That is against the law. That is against the law to hit a child with a weapon. You cannot hit them with something. Oh, yeah, and all of his animals, of course. There is a pattern of behavior here where he likes to throw things to the side that don't listen to him, and he just gets rid of them. It seems to be that he specifically likes to throw other women's children's stuff out to the side. Hey, Lauren Love. Yeah, I've been here. I've been on this channel. I've been here, darling. Allegedly giving away another woman's child's toddler bed. He seems not to get along with other women's children. We have not heard that about Katie in any story, about she doesn't get along with other people's children. We haven't heard that about Seth. Now, in my opinion, Katie will do and did whatever she had to do to land her man, get rid of the cats and everything. Yes. Could Mr. Foot's job been up in the air due to uh an investigation, even a CPS investigation? He worked near a children's hospital. That is possible. That is possible. Absolutely. Certainly is. He had to land her tater tot. Me too, Scorpio. I would have kept the cats any day.
He says, yes, sir. And I said, okay. So I gave him.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chris. Yes, sir, Mr. Chris. How endearing, right? Opening up your gifts the morning, Christmas morning. Thank you, sir, Mr. Chris. I'll be sure to pick this one up so you won't throw my shit out. The hell is wrong with him?
A swat with a belt on his buttocks on the outside of his clothes. One swat.
Does anyone believe it was one swat? But yet he says when the CPS lady showed up, Sebastian was sitting at the dinner table mad about what had happened the day before. I don't believe for a second that it was one and done, in my opinion, and I don't believe it was ever just one time. If the worst thing a 15-year-old or a 14-year-old or a 13-year-old or a 12-year-old or an 11-year-old does to you is lie about forgetting a stupid belt, consider yourself lucky. About a stupid belt? Come on. And if the reason he probably lied, if he did lie, was because he was fearful of you. Fearful of you. When do kids lie? When does most people lie? Because fear that they're going to get in trouble. Right? If you just speak to your kids like a normal, rational human being, they'll admit their mistakes. That's not even a mistake. Forgetting your belt. That's not even a mistake. You forgot a damn belt. I forget stuff all the time. And why are you holding this kid to this standard of not forgetting or forgetting rather of or about a belt? He's got a chromosome deletion. He's got autism. He doesn't think like you do.
What did he lie about?
I love Nancy here.
Honestly, I don't remember at the time, but it was probably something dealing with school because that's
He doesn't remember. We know that's a lie. We know that's a lie right there. It is a lie. That is a lie. Off the board, it's a lie. He just told people in interview, I think the day before or a couple days before that, that why it happened because of the belt. That's exactly what he did it for. The buzzer gets a lot of action on this one, that's for sure. That is for sure on that one. He just seems to be the type that does not like children, in my opinion, or anything. I agree with that. I don't think he has time or patience for anyone or anything other than himself. It's his way or no way. When he said, yes, Katie got rid of the cats so we could continue our relationship. Continue our relationship. It's all about control.
majority where his issues lie.
Did he have other issues at school?
Some behavioral stuff, but nothing too crazy.
What kind of behavioral stuff?
He has a hard time. He's like awkwardly socially like blending in with students, so it's a little. He's trying to figure out how to do it, but respecting people's space. He gets a little too close, and then kids don't really accept that too much, so it kind of causes an issue. But he'll not stop, and he continues on. So then it causes an issue, and instead of being honest about it, he'll lie like, "No, I didn't." Okay, Sebastian.
Right there. Right there, y'all. Right there. Mocking the kid. Mocking the kid. Right here is where, let me see if I've got it pulled up. He completely disparages the child. Right here. Poor child. This is where he says, what does he say? Talks about where he actually, why Sebastian got in trouble. He let it fly on this interview. Let it fly. He thought and was proud of the reason he whipped this kid. Was proud of it and gave the parenting advice. Gave the parenting advice. The most bizarre thing of throwing other people's stuff away. Listen, kids have, every human being is allowed to have personal space. Exactly. He admitted that was 15. Yes. And that, yes. Every person deserves personal space. Period. You don't get to go and just throw someone's stuff away because their room is not up to your standard. I get it. They need to clean the room, but you don't go in and throw their stuff out, right? You talk to them about why it is important to keep their room clean, right? To take care of their stuff. You don't just go in and start
On
throwing shit out.
Sebastian because Sebastian is an awesome person who deserves to be home.
Deserves to be home.
Katie, let me ask you, the night of Sunday night,
I think it's coming up here. 1 second.
when you said there was a noise, what type of noise do you think that was that you heard?
I'm not honestly sure. It sounded like he was messing with stuff in his room, which
I asked that. I was like, well, you didn't hear him or anything? I said, well, what kind of noise was it? And that's when she said, it would just sound like he was in there messing. Well, that's a different than saying there's a thud. There's a thud. 49 likes until we have a chicken party. 49. It is a mother clucking a good time, people. Survey says you need to hit the thumbs up if you haven't yet already, because we're going to have a chicken party. And listen, this is sad enough. Sad enough. Right? So let's get ready for that chicken party. Okay. Starflower, thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Thank you, dear. How's an autistic child supposed to know how to socialize if you don't teach them or give them a chance to socialize? And I'll be honest with you, and let me tell you something. This is where I have had criticism for Seth as well, right? It seems like, in my opinion, that he was never given an opportunity to socialize. The child only wanted friends. And you're going to put him into an online school? For what? He's not going to be able, like, the place where Sebastian loved the most was school. You don't get that in a lot of kids, right? A lot of kids hate school. Or at least it's not their favorite place. We got 1,000 chickens. All right, turkey in the straw. Let's go. Let's have the chicken party.
Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Oh, Grace! Christopher! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Christopher! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Grace!
Give me sugar, water.
Sugar, water. Edgar, your skin is hanging off your bones.
More.
Here we go.
More.
Oh, your skin is hanging off your bones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What it would look like if Mr. was grabbing the fan. Here, kitty. How about a pet cat?
A pet cat. A pet cat. A pet cat. A pet cat. You're coming with me.
What?
Here we go.
It's a long trip. I'll need a snack.
Whoa.
Snacks because snacks. Snacks because he's 15 and snacks. Snacks because he's 15 and snacks.
Snacks because he's 15. Snacks. Snacks. He's only 15. He needs snacks. Except you complain about every snacks that he eats. Right? Channel that's friends with them one night, and Katie said Sebastian had got to the age where he needed to use deodorant but wasn't use it, and he smelt. It's terrible. Terrible. He's snacks. He's gonna have these snacks. Except you complain about the snacks that he eats. You little sugar water snack you.
which was not uncommon, which is why I said, "Hey, I don't know what you're doing in there, but you're supposed to go to sleep."
Except if you would have got in there and checked on him, you might know what he was doing in there. And if he takes his medicine at, I don't know, 7 o'clock, by 10 o'clock, he should be way out.
Okay. So you didn't check on him at that time, but did you check on him at midnight? Did you flip the light on and look to see if he was in the bed at midnight when you got up to go to bed?
No, and because I didn't have any reason to. When he was little, I used to check on him all the time, but he's older now and he's 15, and y'all can figure out why a mother may not want to necessarily pop into a teenage boy's room unexpectedly.
I cannot imagine. Can you imagine your mother, your caregiver, saying this? And then she mentioned it, which I had no idea. Brittany was playing this last night. She was mentioning something else. I forget what it was. It was something in a way about Sebastian doing something. Yeah, she certainly didn't tell Nancy Grace that, did she?
Wait,
Yeah. Let's see. Well, when Seth said that when he came,
I mean, if you hear a thud or you know, he's that's concerning, and all you have to do is knock. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. Check. Can't check on a 15-year-old boy, according to KP. Right. Exactly.
everything was in pristine condition except for his room. Like, I know that the LE was there, and he said that the LE was there. Well, I mean, what did he mean by that? Was that just like the bed was unmade, or where you looked under things, or was it like what did he mean by that?
Sebastian's room is always a little bit messy, but even more so with all the people coming in, all the law enforcement coming in and looking through things, me looking through things, like everybody was searching everything.
So I have a question then real quick. So
Searching
you're
everything.
asking that question, is that because there's somebody's trying to insinuate that we tried to cover something up because the house was clean?
No, but it sounds like you are. Sounds like you are. You know? If that's what you took for it, survey says that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you are. Sure does.
Or
No.
I mean, and please understand why I'm asking that question, because whether my house is dirty or clean really doesn't matter. But okay, I'm just trying to understand this.
I mean, I mean, that, yeah, it kind of sounds like a little paranoia there. Yes, and if you need, if you're suffering from paranoia, nothing to be ashamed of.
Stop it. Get some help.
How about that? Just get some help.
Okay, well, I'll explain it to you. It's because I have a son that is
Yeah, Chris.
autistic. He's 28 now, but I
Chris.
know it's all different types of children on the autism spectrum, but they like stuff in order. And so I was just wondering.
Let me tell you something. People with autism generally won't leave home without certain items. And I guarantee you, his Switch would have been one of them. Right? And especially if you didn't like to get dirty, didn't like to be cold, your shoes is going to be number 2.
Like, I was just trying to think back, and I'm just wondering, like, what did Seth mean by that? Like, was it just because the bed was messed up? And then I know the cop, like, doing these cases and stuff, I know the cops.
I don't know,
So, I
Lisa.
mean,
It's weird.
it's not like you have to get paranoid that I ask you that. It's just, I was asking that because I was thinking back.
Smiley's like, it's not like you had to get paranoid of asking that. That's right. No need to get paranoid about that. Right? How about that? How about that? How about that? Get on it.
Back
No
on
need to get
things, not only
paranoid.
personally, but because I was just trying to make sense of, and then when Katie said, well, it was just his room's out of order and stuff, I'm just thinking, well, some kids, maybe they do, if they're autistic, I don't know. I just asked that question.
Love you too,
When I
Tammy.
ask questions, I just
Love you too,
listen.
Tori.
Let me just tell you this: when I ask questions, you don't have to necessarily look. I'm not the police, okay? And you don't have to worry
That's what she's like. I'm not the popo.
about how I ask.
I am not the popo ho. Don't not the popo ho. Okay? She's not the popo ho.
Ask questions. It's just I also worked for a retention center for 11 years, and it was my job to retain people.
And it looked like he was retention something. He looks like he was retention. He was retention something. Maybe some truth. He might have been retention some truth. Some fluid as well.
And think outside the box. And that's what I do. It's a habit. So there's
Right.
that.
So me asking that question back is because you've got a lot of viewers. I'm not saying your viewers. So let's make that super clear so that viewers don't get that construed with anything. But there's so many people out there with their insinuations, and because you asked that question, it would not surprise me to see a comment. Well, that's because they cleaned the house before the cops got there. Trust me, we have seen it all, heard it all. People are putting stuff out.
That would be the last thing I would be worried about. If you knew you was innocent and they claim that they are, it wouldn't be, oh, you so clean the house. So what? People's gonna have their opinions, right? Cracking the whip doesn't change anything. He's still missing. You seems more worried about clearing your name than it does about finding your child
Out there that is completely obtuse from the truth, and it is ridiculous. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah. Well, you can ask me anything you want. I mean, I don't mind explaining why I asked. I just don't want you to think I'm asking things in nefarious ways. I'm
Hold
just
on.
simply
How
asking
did he use the word obtuse?
anything.
It is ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
why I asked that question.
Yeah. Well, you can
Hold on.
Not surprised me to see a comment. Well, that's because they cleaned the house before the cops got there. Trust me, we have seen it all, heard it all. People are putting stuff out there that is completely obtuse from the truth, and it is ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
why I asked that
Obtuse. You saying it's annoyingly insensitive?
question.
Yeah. Well, you can ask me anything you want. I mean, I don't mind it.
I think you meant to say you're a douche. You're a douche, not obtuse. Survey says number one answer. Yep. Number one answer on the board. That's what you meant to say. You're a douche, not obtuse.
Explaining why I asked. I just don't want you to think I'm asking things in nefarious ways. I'm just simply asking. I'm trying to think because I have been sitting here thinking for days and I have my own things and sometimes they have not been good. I'll just be straight up honest with you because I'm not going to be fake and try to hide anything or whatever. You said yourself, you've seen things that I said. I was not too happy the other night when somebody took my question and asked you, and that was a personal question when you said and I didn't like how you answered it, to be frank with you.
What did I say? Do you remember what it was, please?
It was something about I was pretty hurt about that myself, and I didn't like that because you knew it was coming, but I didn't ever expect it was coming from somebody else, but they did that because they was butthurt at me anyway. But that's okay. It's okay. It's not about me fighting with anybody else. It's about Sebastian here.
Obtuse means insensitive.
And I just didn't. I just felt some kind of type of way because it's the way you answered it, and you already had it in your private messages. But none of that matters. What matters is
Annoyingly
Sebastian, and I want to
insensitive.
know.
We're
Tell me,
understand.
Chris. Can you tell me
You didn't
about
even
the
use that in the
snake?
right
Tell me
manner.
about the snake. Why did you get rid of the snake, or y'all got or decided together, or tell me about the snake? I
Okay,
understand.
so right.
More.
So to answer your question about the snakes, I'll start at the beginning of the snakes. So I viewed long time ago, I actually used to breed reptiles, snakes, gargoyle, reptile, all kinds of stuff. You name it, just about reptiles.
Hold on. Did he say gargoyle reptiles? Did he say gargoyle? You are a gargoyle, in my opinion.
So I viewed long time ago, I actually used to breed reptiles, snakes, gargoyle, reptile, all kinds of stuff.
Snakes, gargoyle, reptiles? He used to gargle reptiles? Yes. I just now noticed that. Gargoyle? What? No, Chris. No, Christopher. What is he? Gargoyle? What's he saying?
Well, I'll start at the beginning of the snakes. So I viewed long time ago, I actually used to breed reptiles, snakes, gargoyle,
Gargo.
all viewed long time ago, I actually used to breed reptiles, snakes, gargoyle, reptile, all kinds of stuff. You name it.
The hell is that? He used to gargle reptiles. Gargoyle, a kind of gecko. I am a gecko, not to be confused with Geico, which could save you hundreds of money on car insurance. Oh, okay. Okay, let's look what that is. Gargoyle gecko. Oh. Okay. Let's meet his little friend. This is his friend. I can see the resemblance. I see the resemblance. Janine, thank you so much for becoming a Pearl. Welcome. Pearls look amazing on you, but he doesn't like cats. Right? He likes serpents. He likes slithery serpents and gargoyle reptiles. As Mr. Foot would say, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
Just about reptile. I used to breed it. Love reptiles. One of my favorite things.
Mhm.
In California, we actually had a snake. They had a bearded dragon. It died.
Mhm.
But we wound up getting.
I have seen bearded dragons, but I would really love for him to be around a bunch of bearded drag queens. Now that would be a sight. Survey says that would be fun. That would be fun. He would be much better around a bunch of bearded drag queens. That would be fun. I would love to see that. And us eating sushi. Yes. I'll even bring a drag queen named Sushi. Okay. We
The
don't need the
snake. Well,
bearded dragon.
Sebastian liked it.
They is me and Bubba. We had a beardy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Right.
He would have
But we had
he would like literally turn pale.
a salmon team bowler. Sebastian liked the idea of having a snake. Well,
Yeah, it's the
Love that
happiest he
thing.
ever was.
he's
picture
never
that,
had
yeah.
one that was his snake, his own snake.
And you took it.
Um,
Me
now,
too,
mind you,
Chris.
when
I
I
don't like
do
them.
something, I go all in. I don't half-ass do it. So,
Remember that he doesn't half-ass to it.
I purchased. However, I've got friends that are in that world still that are in that business, and we all chit chat um, and I wind up coming across. Basically, I had like about 30 snakes at one given time.
Mhm.
All of them were ball pythons.
Mhm.
I didn't have anything retic. I didn't have anything massive, poisonous, or anything like that. Well, Sebastian was infatuated with one of the snakes that one of the breeders I deal with had. And it's the picture that the snake that you see in the picture that's wrapped around his arm.
Notice how he's explaining this a little too detailed.
That
Yeah.
is his personal pastel ball python named Brownie.
Thanks, Lord.
That is his personal snake. He loved them.
Yes, that you took away his cats, dogs, and his snake.
The downside, like it got to a point with mom's work, my work, and I told Sebastian, I said, having a snake means responsibilities. You're going to clean it. You're going to have to feed it. You're going to water it. You're going to do all that stuff.
And he
If you
actually
don't,
did.
He what, Katie?
I said, and he did for a little while.
And then he stopped.
Thank you so very much, PR. Appreciate you, my love. I have a degree in English literature and language and comparative literature. While Chris is most definitely obtuse, he did not use the word correctly in his own sentence. That's what I was thinking. I mean, I just have, a degree in bullshit economics, and I just didn't. It didn't seem right. It didn't seem, just it felt like he was being more of a douche than obtuse. I Now, PF, would you agree? Would you agree that a douche would have worked better in there with him than obtuse? Just asking.
yeah. And
Yeah.
and parenting is, and I think everybody understands this. When you're a parent, you're not your kid's best friends. You're not. That's not what your job
You made that real crystal clear.
is. Your job is to be a parent. And I told Sebastian, if you don't,
I mean, he might have ate Chris might have ate a little mice. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Pamela, thank you for becoming a pearl. Pearls look amazing on you, darling. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Mother today, I told her to. Please read my last comment, Justin. How far was it, my dear? If it was really far up, I can't go up that far. Brenda. Where's Brenda? I don't see Brenda. Can you copy and paste it again, Brenda? I don't see it. I'm sorry. It don't let me go too far up on the program I'm on.
she's gone. And he thought I was kidding. Nope. So when I got rid of one, I got rid of them all.
Yeah.
Now, when I say got rid of them, a friend of mine, local in Nashville, he got them.
And I have showed you guys that the friend of his is not a friend, and that was not the agreement, that he disputes everything that Chris said about that, and they actually kept Sebastian's snake because they knew how much he liked that snake, and they still have it to this very day, hoping that Sebastian will come back and they can gift the snake to Sebastian.
Because he's a good breeder, great guy. And he's like, if you ever want him, come get him, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, man, appreciate it. But right now, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So
Mohawk.
right now, we're not just hang tight with him. So we got rid of the snakes.
We know a lot of things that he has been untruthful about here. Katie coughed when she said, I don't half-ass it. I go all out, and he got confused and started stuttering and going on about the snake. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Wow.
So did his dad not want them, or you couldn't take them to his dad's or anything so he could see them when they're there? I just wondered.
No, his
Well-
dad couldn't take them.
Well, his dad wasn't going to take 30 snakes. I mean, because 30 snakes, you're talking a big old rack.
Well, he could have taken one. He could have taken one, but you didn't want that, did you? Even the snake breeder said he knew how much Sebastian loved that snake. That's why he didn't sell the snake, because the breeder got them to sell them to make a profit, which is what breeders do. They're there to make a profit. And he just couldn't sell Sebastian's snake because he knew how much Sebastian liked him.
All kinds of stuff. I mean, and you've got to deal with the food, which is going to be rats and things like that. People.
You know what? That is something we need right now. We need someone to tell the truth on what happened on the night of February 25th going into the 26th. We need someone to rat them out. Rat whoever did this out. That's exactly what we need. Thank you again, Tia. It's very sweet of you. Most definitely would use a deuce when describing Chris. Also, your degree in bullshitonomics trumps my degree in comparative literature any day. Love you. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. You're very generous. Thank you. Appreciate you. CP put the ad up. Yes, I've got the ad as well. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Guys, I've been on here 3 hours and 5 minutes. I need to go eat something. My blood sugar is kind of dropping. I can feel it. So I love you all. Thank you all so much for being here. Really do appreciate you. You guys are all amazing. I will be back. Pamela, did I say thank you? Thank you so much for becoming a pro. If I didn't say thank you, really do appreciate the support, my dear. Love you all so very much. Take good care of yourselves. I will be back tomorrow. I may even be back later tonight, very, very late in the night if I do. If I do, it'll be on Hey Sweet Tea. Make sure you are subscribed over there if you're not. You guys are awesome. Stay the course, use your brains, and don't get sidetracked in this. Sebastian is what matters. And in my opinion, there is one reason why Sebastian is missing to this day. And I think one man stemmed why we are here today. And I don't think it is Seth, and I don't even think it's Katie, the reason why her son is missing. But I do believe it is somewhere in the middle. God bless each and every one of you guys. I'll see you guys later tonight, if not tomorrow. Good night.